So can I just want to share like one quick story
Oh,
that like
go
based
ahead.
on what you're saying. So the the problem in Ukraine, obviously. So
Yep.
so there's two Eastern republics that consider themselves Russian, um, broke away from the rest of Ukraine because Ukraine they had uh, like a coup basically, and orchestrated by the like CIA. It was all over gas, like gas rights and a gas pipeline, all this. So now instead of a Russian supporting Ukrainian government president, you have a Western like you UN or sorry, European Union supported president with a lot of ties to white supremacist groups, I might add, but that's the different story. But anyway, so this politician, this guy, this former president of Ukraine was corrupt, very corrupt, a lot of money, all this stuff. But anyway, the CIA like they exposed him and whatever. So he basically flew out of with a helicopter by the hair of his cheek and chin, really. And
Right.
so there's a big coup, the maiden, and so but the eastern part of Russia didn't want to be part of European Union, didn't be part of the West, so they broke off. So they broke off into two republics, the Donetsk and Lugansk. So I've been to both, did some seminars, met some people. Anyway, I went to Lugansk like several times, enough times, and so like I supported the movement to they actually granted me citizenship there. So I've been going there, like doing like projects for kids and stuff for a while. So one time I was there. This is probably 3 years ago. I was in Lugansk and then went to Donetsk. The whole, did the trip, did a couple of seminars, met with my friends, and I come back. So on the way back in the airplane, I think I was on a Delta flight, and they give you like a newspaper, and it was a Washington Post. So I was reading the Washington Post, and in this, remember, I'd been there like 2 days before. In this, they're talking about the situation where I just left, and they're talking about Lugansk and the Donetsk republics, and they were describing how armed bands ran the country, how there was a curfew, how like people couldn't speak out because they would be shot. They couldn't speak out like how things really were, like how they were being like their possessions were being taken away by these like rebels and bands and this affiliated with the like makeshift government they put together, and how the whole thing was just the whole place was burning. And I was like, I just was that man. I'd been there like a half a dozen times already, but now I was just there 3 days ago, and nothing that was reported in this story was true. I was shocked and really angry, like reading this. This is the Washington Post, like one of the two or three most influential newspapers in the United States, media,
Right.
and I'm reading this about how like Russian troops were there and all that, which is not true. I mean, Russia, like whether I get in trouble for this or not, I don't care. That's the truth. Russia did send equipment. Russia did like have volunteers or whatever. No Russian military personnel ever went into Lugansk or Donetsk. They just did. They sent some supplies and whatever. But these people wanted to be Russia. They had a referendum, like us, and they want to be. So they made their own republic. Because they consider they speak Russian, they don't want to be part of the West, like
Hmm.
they want to be part of Kiev and the rest of Ukraine. But anyway, the point is, I read this report that was nothing like reality, and it's just it makes you think like if a newspaper like the Washington Post can make something so blatantly, it wasn't even exaggerated, it wasn't like misleading, it was just blatantly like just not true, nothing in the article in this story was true. And it was like, this is what people in the United States like that's where they get their information from, that, what's going on. It was obviously blaming Russia, blaming these rebels, calling them rebel. I mean, these people just wanted their freedom.
Right.
The coup happened in Kiev. That's where these people just wanted their lives back.
Yeah.
Um, but it's really saying, and so the last part of the story is that the people are the ones that suffer because, right, there's Lugan. I mean, so you have, Eastern Russia. So they have Lugansk, and you have this Lugansk Republic, and then across the river that you're into proper Ukraine. And
Mm.
so there was like a bound. There was a security on both sides. Like, not only, I mean, they're in a war. Not,
Right.
it's kind of a ceasefire at this point, but they're not allowed. Obviously, if someone tried to cross, you get shot. But then you paid a bribe of equivalent of like $4 American, and they put a little thing in your passport, which which is a sticker you take out because you don't want anyone to see it, and they let you cross. I mean, imagine cutting a country right in half, like on this a very small area. Like, okay, the hospital's on this side, but the airport's on this side. My
Oh.
my my parents live over here, but my brother lives over here. It's
Mm.
like, holy, like, what do you do? So these people were paying these bribes. Just a guy I saw, it's really sad, man. There's like a train of people walking across this bridge from this river, a bunch with fruits and vegetables, like, because they like trying to make a living, because they grow it over here, but they sell it over here,
Right.
coming across every couple of days, and then $4 is a lot of money for them, especially during this war. So they, I
Hmm.
mean, so they have to bring over quite a bit of, like big barrels, something you see out of the 18th century. People with like big barrels of like fruits and vegetables to sell and stuff like that. They're just like, it's like, it's brothers and sisters, families like torn apart, right? Like literally like the Civil War. It's really sad, like, to see this, like, kind of the human side of the story, like something like a Washington Post or something would never talk about.
Yeah.
But it's really, and I guess that's one of the things I talk about, the opportunity to like travel and stuff, and like see this like for what it is, not just read about it in a newspaper, or see it, or what you see on TV. Like, you see the human toll that it takes on both sides. This isn't
Yeah.
like, on the Ukrainian side too. These people, wow, they're
Yeah.
they're cut off. So it was really really sad. So